Hello and welcome. This is the Tuesday telecast from the Joyful Path. You are here with me, your host, Lydia Lowery Busler, and I am about to welcome my guest, Annie Osung, who is coming from the other side of the proverbial pond from me in the UK. So Annie is, from what I know, a marketer with Global.Media, and he's always on the path of positivity and helping everybody do their podcasts and their broadcasts and their audio rooms and host those. He's always a positive voice. And so let's see what makes Annie go and what makes him be a joyful voice for everybody that he's helping out.
Okay, that's a good.
Let's welcome Annie onto the show. Annie Osung.
Yay!
Hey, hello, Annie. Welcome to the show.
Hi, Lydia. Great to be here. It really is.
Great to have you. So, now you are over in the UK, and what town are you calling from?
I'm in somewhere called Cornwall. If you think of England or the UK, it's a map. I guess there's Scotland at the top, and then almost, then down the south there's London, and then down the very southwest, the very end. There's a bit that's below London.
Okay.
That's where we are.
All right.
There's something called Land's End down the road. Land's
Yep.
End is Land's End. If you jump off Land's End, you've been to sea to America. So you can imagine where we are. We really are there. It's different to London. It's very different to London. Very.
You can actually. I'm in Vermont in the United States, and Vermont is on the eastern. Is on the eastern seaboard, but not right on the seaboard. We do have we're close to Montreal in Canada.
But yeah, it's near Canada. Yeah.
Yes. And we have a big lake. This used to be an inland sea. All of Vermont did, but now we just have a big lake called Lake Champlain. You can actually sail right to you from this lake because the lake is not actually landlocked. If you take your sailboat, you can either go up and through Montreal and out into the ocean, or you can go up or down and through the locks, which will safely transport your boat from the different sea level or from the lake level down to the river and out to the ocean via New York City, and can sail to you that way.
There's some similarity in that we've got loads of beaches around here. I was in London until 4 years ago. I grew up in London. Well, I grew up in Nigeria, born in London, came back to London. So I'm a Londoner, really. But my wife's family live down here. So we moved down 4 years ago. And there's loads of beaches. You never go more than 10 minutes away from a beach.
Mm-hmm.
One of the perks of being here. Except I don't swim.
Uh-oh.
The water is still cold. It's freezing cold.
I understand. So if it was warm, do you think you could swim then?
Yeah, on holiday I swim just about. Okay. I'm not a swimmer really. I just, I can swim from A to B and not die. If you add C, I would die. I would eventually drown. A small pool I can swim in. So out there in the sea, it's like, as long as it's not too far, I can stand up. I'm fine.
Okay. So they're priorities.
Yeah, well, so my son loves to see, my wife loves to see, so, and our pets love it. Our dogs love to see, so.
All right.
Enjoy it, So I just don't go anywhere near it because, and it's not a Nigerian thing to do either. Amazingly,
right. Right.
The Nigerian. I never heard of the sea in Nigeria. Obviously, there's a sea nearby.
Right.
I think the way I look at it is, you only have to swim if you want to put yourself in danger. There's never a need to, and you never need to know how to swim ever, unless you're going to throw yourself into water just to put yourself in danger. Go tell me otherwise.
Well, if you grow up in Hawaii, there's a whole different relationship with the water, but they have a different relationship with the water. They spend time on the bottom of the water and they walk across the bottom of the water holding rocks just to make sure they can do it and things like that. It's quite impressive. But we don't have to do that. I grew up in a Coast Guard family. The Coast Guard in our country is one of the armed forces, and my father was in it, and so we took that all very seriously. I took swimming lessons when I was very small and pretty much stood at the lakes and reservoirs with blue lips, and it's very cold.
It's a skill when you've got it, when you haven't got it. No, when you're like me, you sort of think, where would I ever need that? If I go in the sea, where would I go in the sea? No. And then you think, okay, you have to see, it's fine. As long as you enjoy it, I'll enjoy it on holiday, like I say, when it's nice and hot.
I'm confident with it. I'm confident with the water, but I don't enjoy swimming in it. I do like to kayak. I like to be in a kayak and to go places and see them, but I like to be in my kayak. I don't like to be on one side of my kayak.
That sounds a lot more fun to me. I've been able to, use a boat or canoe to get somewhere. I can enjoy that. Like you say, but no, the thought is I might fall in, and then I'll be in trouble. Because then what, But the sea is what it is.
Yeah, it's a rough companion.
Mm-hmm.
So what is your, how long were you in Nigeria, or when did you leave Nigeria?
Okay, it's a short story. I mean, I was born in I was born in Woolwich in the UK, in London, like I say. I got a sister who's a year older. So our parents, they were doctors. So they had a busy life.
Okay.
So as soon as we were born, my mum and dad literally said, like, go and live with your grandparents in Nigeria.
I see.
So I went there. I think I was still less than 1, I think. So we lived there from 1 to 13. We came back when I was 13. I lived with our dad again. So, it's that almost shapes a lot of the things and the way I see life, as you will find out in good time.
Right. Oh, my dog has decided to enter.
Yeah. They always do. They always do. It's my podcast, it's not yours. I lock my doors, keep mine out. It's like, no, stay away. It's like, yeah. I don't want. No.
Okay.
What's the dog called?
This is Mochi.
Mochi.
Mochi is part greyhound and part I don't know what else. Black Labrador, perhaps. But anyway,
very sweet, very sweet.
You've been in other parts of the UK before Cornwall?
No. I'm a Londoner at heart, really. So I was born in London. I'm going to Nigeria. Come back to London. I've always been in London. London's a big place, by the way. So a lot of people think London itself is a tiny place. But what we call London is surrounding regions.
Right.
There's inner London. There's Greater London. So in terms of Greater London, I've lived in many places. There's the areas that surround London, and so within an hour of central London, really. So as a kid, we lived in a place called Tooting, in Wimbledon. As an adult, then I moved to Mitcham, so back to Wimbledon, and then so when I moved around, and as an adult, I say adult, teenage years, as part of adult, so as a family person, I guess. We moved, so we live nearer London and moved a bit further out, somewhere called Colston, which it's part of it's a bit more rural, a bit quieter. I mean, as our kids got older, and I got two older kids in their 30s, and a 14-year-old. So as the older two got older, you try and move further out from central London because it's nicer, it's quieter, and there are less negative influences. So from there all the way to Cornwall, it says getting used to, but for what I do, as long as I had family happy, I'm quite happy, and I can do what I do from anywhere. I do marketing online, so why not? There's a while there when I thought, no, just get divorced and just start again. And I sat down and I thought, contact with the sun every couple of weeks, really? It's 400 miles away, so I can't go. It's just too far. I just thought, well, why don't I just go along? What's so bad about Cornwall? Maybe I was wrong. I'll admit that, but hell, I'm here. I'm living my life, so why not? It's what it is. Yeah, it's.
So you reference being happy with family, and that you can do whatever you can do what you do wherever you are, and this is like about the path to joy, and so. Would you say that you're on the joyful path? And if so, what are your suggestions about how to get there?
Oh, I think I'm on the joyful path. I know I'm happy in myself. I'm happy with life, and I'm ridiculously happy. It's a weird thing to say. Could life be better? Of course it could. But genuinely, I'm as happy as I can be in terms of what I had envisioned as a kid is the life I'm living now. Like I said, everyone can have more, but I'm quite happy. I'm not going to starve ever. I mean that sincerely. I don't think I am anyway. Even if everything went wrong tomorrow, I still won't starve. I'm quite happy that my family are quite happy. And I've been with my wife now for 30 odd years. So, I don't look that old, but we're having, so, we're more than happy with ourselves. I live the life that I dreamt of. It's, if I don't live the things I haven't got now, I've had on the journey here. So, I'm genuinely happy. I want to, of course, I want to achieve more. I want to do more. Will it make me any happier? Probably not. I'm as happy as when I tell them, I say I'm as happy as a pig in mud water. There's a different term that we use here, a pig in poo, literally. That's that's so on that score. I'm on the joyful path. I think so. It's
Yeah. So what would you say then is if you've mentioned having enough and that we could always have more, but so there are things and food and having the things we need, and there's having more than that. There's having accomplishments, and there's the journey. Which of those three things do you think is the most important part of the joy? The things, the accomplishments, or the journey?
$1 million question. I'll say all three, amazingly. And I'll tell you why I say all three.
Okay.
And for me, I guess I've got a big one that I got in front of me on I got the paper stuck to the wall. I think it's the word gratitude. And genuinely, I am as grateful as I am. I'm grateful for life. I really am. I'm grateful for what I've got. I'm grateful for the journey I've been on. I'm grateful for the things I've been, things I've done. See, when I say that, it sounds like I'm almost gloating. I'm showing off. It's not that. It's just, I genuinely appreciate where I am. Things could be much very different. Of course, they could be. Things could be much worse. But as a kid, I had a vision of myself or a feeling of myself even in Nigeria, where because I was born British and living in Nigeria, I didn't see life as I didn't feel the pain of other Nigerians, if that makes sense. But you have to expand that to say I was living with my granddad, and we had a huge family. And granddad was Minister of State for Health, so he was literally he was in the government, which means it's a different world to everyone else. So literally, granddad had a hospital. He owned a hospital as well. In Nigeria, there's this thing where if you have hospital treatment, you have to pay. If you don't pay, then essentially you live in hospital with your children. So there was an orphanage, is my point. And I never felt like one of those. I never felt like I was, what's the word I'm looking for? In need, missing something. I always felt like I'm going to go back to England one day. I'm going to live the good life. I'm sure I was wrong, because in Nigeria, and when you think of heaven, we look up at the sky. When you think of England, you look up at the sky. So I would say it's blue sky thinking literally. I always had that thing that I'm not going to be here forever. I'm going to have something. I'm going to have something else. So with that, you think differently. I guess the other thing in Nigeria is that you have to do education hard because you have to pay for it. So you can't afford to fail. So again, when you have school and you do well, you can feel optimistic about life. So I always felt that way. So literally, I always felt like I'm going somewhere. I'm gonna be something. There's something better coming. It doesn't mean I didn't enjoy the moment, but literally, there's always something better coming. So going back to England was always going to be the big idea. And eventually, I did go back to England. As hard as life is in England, I've made a life for myself. So I've got my education even more sorted. Work-wise, I guess I had a plan to. Obviously, you have a plan to work, but it's what do I want to do when I get older? My thing was never to work for a big company. I don't want to be a cog in the wheel. And I'm lucky enough that I've had jobs that have kept me happy. My last job before starting my marketing agency was working running a charity. So that was my way of paying back to the kids who were unfortunate. So my thing has always been to give those who haven't got a voice. And my thing was to kind of help the children who were looked after by the state a voice. So I was lucky enough to have the chance to do that. And then rise up the charity ladder and then get to actually run the charity itself. Once you look down and think, there's all those staff, they all have kids, have to pay them. In the charity, there's no money. There's money, there's no money. You've got 30 staff. It's like, you can't just raise money overnight. You have to, it takes time. And when the crash happened in 2008, I sort of looked down and I thought, we're in trouble. And it's not really my passion. It's not my thing. I've done my stint here. If I was there 15 years, I was thinking, I've done my thing. So now it's time to go and do what I really want to do, which is go and make some money. And then I looked around and I thought, can I help? And I found another audience to help, small businesses. So again, now I've done what I'm doing now with my company in the last 7 years. Yeah, and there's a joy in doing what I do. There's a joy in being me. There really is. And that's why I'm so grateful. I can't ignore that thing. It's just, I love life. My wife probably hates me for loving life so much, but yeah, what can I say? I go out when I want, work when I want. I do interviews like this when I want to, as I'm writing my book. Right. I live a life that I dreamt of. It's an amazing thing to say.
Wonderful. So when you were working for orphanages or for helping children or for all these different companies or organizations, you were always lifting up other people, other individuals, and now you are lifting up other people, other individuals, and other small groups of individuals. So that's just kind of your call, and you just keep following your call.
Yeah, that's exactly why I'm so grateful that I don't like injustice. That's my thing. And the world's full of injustice. They say so my first job out of uni was working. I came across this application for a job for an internet company. I had no idea what it was. Internet company? What's the internet? So this was 2000. I had no clue what this internet thing was. I went for it. I got the job. Next thing I know, I'm a manager. I was there for over 3 years. So that was the start of my working career properly. And in that, the internet was so small. There was still MySpace and the days of old. Mm-hmm. Days that So, I was writing content for the company and for managers essentially. And because I was so well educated, I was writing management development courses. So that was what I really got paid for.
Yeah.
So and everyone knew everyone online. Literally, you knew everyone. You pick up the phone and phone the person on that website because they were human and they were there. But that was before the .com crash. So I left that to go to the charity. So the kids who are in state care, I guess, they have a hard life because state care, it sounds good, it's better than nothing, but there's only limited resources that people put towards state care. So my thing was, how do we give those kids a voice? Because, and a lot of those kids have ambition, potential. Right. If they got the right support, they can actually go far. And so that's what I saw. And I thought, okay, let me try and at least give them a voice as best I can. And obviously, when you go to a charity, there's other kids who have needs. Disabled children have needs. Bereaved children have needs. And most of the needs, so it's all about being heard, actually having their views listened to by someone. So for me, that's quite easy. So you give them a voice, they can change the system, they can change their lives, and they can achieve what they want to achieve in life. And then when that came to an end, so when I said I'm going to leave that, I came back to this whole internet thing that I started off from in 2000, where suddenly I realized, hold on, the dream that I was writing about when I was 21, internet's going to democratize everything, going to make a better place for everyone. Business has a chance to sell to anyone in the world because you get seen and you can make. It's a dream come true. When I looked around, it wasn't true. So the internet became something else.
Right.
So one of the kids I was working with in the charity, she had a great company. They started a company reselling people's products, drop shipping we call it. And then they made their own shoes on the back of London 2012. They made their own women's brogues, Oxford shoes. Okay. I was amazed, amazing quality, handmade shoes. I'm like, this is so good. The reason, Anyway, so they made the shoes, had English factory, and so all handmade in the UK. But they couldn't sell a single pair of them. Not a single pair. And I couldn't understand. I refused to understand why. That's why I'm here. That's why I'm here where I am today. So my thing was, how do we change the equation? What's gone wrong? The dream of the internet is not what it's cracked up to be. So I thought, let me go and fix. Let me find out how to fix that problem and help small businesses to actually sell things on the internet. And then you realize it's a bigger problem.
Okay.
It's weird. It's
Well, I'm hearing that starting with the state care and the discrepancy between the caring in the care, and so you were finding you were giving the voice to the people who didn't have a voice, so you could really get to that place, because part of care is listening, and part of getting to answers is being heard. No one can be heard if they don't have a voice. And then moving on, you're showing inconsistencies in what you're seeing, and what is actually being produced, and what is getting out. And there's this discrepancy. And then, so once again, like, how can we, have conversations and actually, give people the voice so that we can bridge these gaps. I mean, this is what I see how you are showing up in the world, and how I look at what it is you're telling me. So what is it that now, what does Annie do on a given day today to help bridge these gaps and help give people a voice?
it's again, back to my sense of privilege and gratitude again. In that I seem to have chosen a career to satisfy my passion to help people, like you mentioned earlier. Marketing is a unique thing. Running a marketing agency is a unique thing, because you're in a unique place to help people to achieve greatness, and to come along to the joyful path, as you would call it, right? It's not there's not many things like it. From maybe education is probably close to it, but marketing is a unique place. I find myself with the ability to help people to do what greatness looks like. Let me try and break it down, right? As a marketing agency, a lot of my clients have dreams to be to help people, to serve people. That's what you're in business for. And I have this unique place where I can help them to reach more people. That's my first goal as a marketer.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think that's such a great place to be. I take it very seriously, because now, if I do my job properly, they can help more people, they can make more money, obviously, but then they'll be happier, and they can actually achieve their dreams. So it starts there. So just being in this sector and doing what I do just brings me immense joy. It really does make me so happy. I can't, it's hard to explain. That's why I said I live in any bubble in my head where everything's so glorious. It's like, and everyone's like, stop being so happy. I'm like, I can't help you. I'm just, life is great. And they're like, stop being so unknowingly happy, but it's what it is. But let's go back to the marketing thing, right?
Yeah.
I try to help, maybe not help, work with my clients to achieve even, because I have to put it, being in business is hard, right? Being in business is hard every day for everyone, right?
Right.
There's hurdles, so getting clients is a hurdle. There's money problems for everyone, right? Whereas, I've learned that there are certain things that you can do that speed up the process to achieve your goal in business. A big part of that is just the simple thing about building relationships, for example.
Right.
A lot of businesses want to sell things. They want to sell, sell, sell. I'm like, so my clients, I was trying to bring them back a bit and say, look, as a process, marketing is not about selling. If I talk to 100 people, one in that 100 might be ready to buy right now and have the money to buy it from you. In reality, the other 99, they're just not there yet. Some might be, some probably never will be. So let's not keep chasing the sell. Let's work on building relationships. Brand awareness. Just stopping and just talking to people. It's most of my campaigns. I don't do the send it to my website to go and buy things unless you sell products. I've got clients who sell products, skincare, for example. They can go and buy stuff on the website. But for all my service-based clients, my goal is always to initiate a conversation with a prospect, talk to people, get to know them. Once you get to know them, get on their level where you can actually help them when the time comes. With that, you build almost in like a funnel, which they call it a sales funnel, but it's more like trying to build a network of people who will know you, like, and trust you, and they might buy from you when the time comes. So that's part of what I do. Another part of the marketing things that I teach my clients actively is the way to think about the business and their goals. We call it mindset. And I have the genuine belief that anyone and everyone can achieve greatness. I have this thing about why shouldn't you and I be the ones who create the next McDonald's? So when clients come to me, I literally I've got my senses out, literally trying to work out where are they on this mindset thing. Are they thinking in ways that limit them, or are they thinking in abundance? Are they thinking of greatness? Have they got the right goals? If I sense they've got a limiting belief, limiting thoughts, I would actually try to move them forward. And I'm trying to make them understand they can be anything they want to be. They really can. Because why not us? And so on the back of that comes positive thinking, but it's not just positive thinking for the sake of positive thinking. It's positive thinking that helps their marketing campaigns. Because if there's a saying in marketing, in business as a whole, whether you think you can or you think you can't, you're probably right. So if you say you can't achieve, this is not going to work, what's the point trying? Then it's not going to work. Whereas if you come to me and would design a campaign and you put your positive thinking into it and believe it's going to work, we're halfway there, right? So literally, that's where I take all my clients most of the time. And then from there, it's a case of, once you design a campaign, a lot of people think mindset thinking and positive thinking is about just thinking. It's not about thinking, it's about doing. So literally, if we have positive outlook on what we're doing, we actively get involved in trying to improve our process. Which means that so every day we're contributing to what can we do better, what can we do differently to get better results, and then we'll get better results. I win as a marketer, the client wins as the client, the customers win as the ones who actually need the service. This is all part of my stories of creating joy for my clients, and implementing this whole thing of mine of helping people.
So if you have a positive mindset and you have the words saying, I wish I had that, I want that, your mind, because you have this fabulous connection with your mind will say, yeah, I wish you had that too. If you say, that is my future, your mind will say, yeah, that's where we're going, baby. So yeah, it's true. You really do have to believe that for yourself and believe great things. But we do have things in us we have all these different parts of us that are all, they're not bad either. If we start thinking that, oh, I've got these, evil voices in ours, then we're just going to defeat ourselves. There are parts of us that have just been protecting us, and it's not bad that they're protecting us. They're actually great parts of us. They just sometimes are, when they are doing too much, like the parts of us that allow us to be maybe easygoing and likable, say, oh, well, that doesn't look like the path of ease and flow. I think I'll avoid it. And it's like,
it's so true. The thing, I guess we're human. I think having those thoughts makes you human. I really think so. It's what we're human.
Yeah.
I think I meet people these days. When I say I'm positive, there's a whole positive energy thing going on LinkedIn at the moment, right?
Yeah.
Some of those people, I speak to them, I think, calm down, just be human, because let me give you an example. So we're watching the football, the World Cup.
Yeah.
As much as I'm positive, I still have human responses. I want a team to lose. And they're like, you can't think like I can. I want that team to lose because they're not my team. So I'm saying you have to be human. You can't just be, you have to live in the real world, even when you're being positive.
Yeah.
That means you have to feel disappointment at times, anger at different times, and some doubt. As long as you understand that you have to have that faith in your goal.
Right.
Then you're halfway there. But you have to work towards it as well. Nothing happens by just thinking it. I know nothing's ever happened by just thinking. You have to actively work towards that goal and do the right things.
Right.
You know?
Yeah. I wrote a blog today, and it was about the fact that I felt myself slowing down. It's becoming winter here, and sometimes we feel ourselves slowing down. And yeah, I could judge myself for that. As I said, I'm a northeastern American in a capitalist society. I could, really judge myself for slowing down, but I'm not doing that. And I have rolled with it, and I've found that it's given me incredible clarity, and the calmness of mind has just made me have laser focus and allowed me. You can do things, and you can do things toward your goals and not have to have them be difficult and arduous. If you're actually working toward your goals, it can be hard work, but it can be enjoyable. It can be, and that's kind of how you're going toward your goals, is that your hard work is enjoyable. I mean, maybe not. It doesn't mean there won't be every once in a while it's some heartbreak and pain, but there is. That's life. That's how we know. That's how we enjoy the beautiful things. Is having the ups and downs, but if we're working toward what it is that we love, or what it is that we want to accomplish, then those things, it's more of a path of ease and flow. And when we're calm and we know that, then all of a sudden we slow down and things are clear, and life actually slows down with us.
I agree. I totally agree. Again, having that clear goal, it's not a burden. A lot of people see it as a burden. They see it as stressful. They see it as, it's a problem. It's not, like you say, it's not a problem. It's a journey you're on. And also there's a way to say rest is wasting time. As someone who literally could work 24 hours a day, I really could. But I know it's not good for me. You have to rest, and it's only when you rest that you can think. I have to do my goal setting practice work every day. That's at least an hour that I spend every day. Whilst listening to your music, by the way. I'm saying, but you have to have that time, which gives you. That's when you think and gain clarity.
Yeah.
The whole point of having that positive mindset is not that you're forever driven like a manic machine, because you're not. You're not a machine. Literally, you have to think. And then sometimes when things go wrong, you have to strategize, have a different, learn from it, and learn another way to say you're going to do what you're going to do. That's the fun of life, really. That's what I really enjoy about life. You can, it's your path, it's your journey. I can learn from everyone. How I'm going to do mine and how you're going to do yours are two different things completely. And again, even the goal that we're trying to achieve might sound the same, but it's not. What gives you joy, genuine joy, different to what gives me joy.
Yes.
And what's important is what gives me joy to me. And all you can do is chase what gives you joy. Otherwise, you soon lose interest in putting the work in.
Right.
It's what makes life interesting.
Right. And if we do lose interest, and then we can question that, and we can change our mind. And it's okay to change our mind.
Yeah.
It is perfectly valid to change our mind and then decide to follow another path. That's all right.
Yeah, it's more than all right. It's part of the process.
That's right.
I remember when I sat down to set my goals, and I've been doing some work with Donna Martin. I sat down to do my goals. She said, "No, write all your goals down. Just write a whole long list of goals." I kept going back to her saying, "Okay, I've written the list, but I've crossed many of them out. Every day I'll cross them all out, because what you think is your goal is not really when you know that achieving that won't give you joy, you best just cross it off your list. The thing to find and there is that thing that will give you joy.
Yeah.
And that's not fine. It's just, I think, just come out with it. Acknowledge it to yourself and to the world.
Yeah.
Whereas a lot of us, I want £1 million. Okay, fine. Would that really give you joy? Not really. I want, this nice car. Okay, you've got the car, now what? I'm saying that. So there's a lot of things we think we want.
Right.
As our goals. When when we have them, they don't bring us joy.
No.
There's something about going for that genuine thing that warms your heart, is the way I describe it.
Right.
That's what's exciting to wake up and do every day.
Yes.
You know?
Yes. And you mentioned learning from your mistakes, learning from others. That's not keeping our hand on the hot stove, not keeping our hand closed in the car door. We're meant to learn from our pain. We're not meant to keep reliving it, to keep staying in the pain. But learn from it. Learn to not put your hand on the hot stove again, and then move on.
No, but like you said earlier, don't be too harsh on yourself. There's no need to be.
No.
Because what damage have you done by not doing something? Nothing.
Right.
You haven't. All you've done is maybe at worst, is slow down your process.
Right.
But then, so like you said, like again, it gives you time to think.
Right.
So
Life is harsh
there's
enough.
different benefits.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
I used to be harsh on myself, because I'm normally late for everything. But now, now where we are, I just think I saw the future. I saw the working from home thing and online being the way. So now, because I don't have to go anywhere these days, I'm really late because it's in front now, it's on the computer in front of me. Now, because when I have to go places, I would literally misjudge how long it's going to take to get there.
Oh,
When you're young, you think, "Oh, this is terrible," and everyone's rude and they're threatening. Now, when you get to my state of happiness, you're like, oh, "I'm here. Let's get on with it." That's number one. You're going to dwell on the fact I'm late. You're going to waste more time. So let's just do what we have to do, and then we can go.
right.
Otherwise, I just assume, and I just believe it wasn't meant to be. It wasn't. Obviously, there's obviously a fine line between any you got that timing wrong again. It's very different to being stuck in traffic that you can't control.
Right. Right. Yeah.
So there's times when you have to learn, and there's times when you have to accept the universe is what the universe is. I tried, I couldn't get there.
Yeah.
And I tried to do that, I just couldn't do it. Maybe today's not the right day to do that thing that I had to do today. Maybe just not. But no one ever dies. So in which case, let it go.
Yeah.
Do that. Celebrate what you have done, and live on that. Live off that. The joy of that instead.
Yeah. Just be in the moment and enjoy where you're at. Enjoy who you're with.
I agree. There's so much to like about life. And I don't know. Some parts of me thinks it's just my little illusion in my head, but I don't know any other way to live. I try and find another way to be half depressed, but I just can't seem to bring myself.
Really?
Half melancholic about life, but no, I just can't find a reason to be, half upset. I just can't find. I don't know what it is. I'm missing something, I think.
We could give you some dread disease or something.
Yeah, I don't know. But I think that you can feel bad because a lot of people are struggling. Again, I'm not being delusional. There is, I guess, like I said, when I was a kid, there's a reason why I felt that sense of joy because I was quite privileged.
Mm-hmm.
Now, when I came back here again, I still felt privileged because my parents were not poor, and I knew I had talents and abilities that were beyond more than the people, some of the people around me.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just I've always lived that sort of that sense of I can do, and I can do what I want to do. Ultimately,
Right.
that optimism, mixed with the gratitude, is why I'm where I am. So it's a strange thing not to feel. The things have gone wrong, by the way. Don't let me convince you that things haven't gone wrong. Things have gone wrong in drastic ways in my life, but I just, I almost don't remember them.
Yeah.
And it's a weird thing. I just find that so strange. So.
Well, they're part of us, but they're part of us to learn from, not to, again, keep our hand on the hot stove. They're there for us to learn from. They may even make us have some of the habits that we have, but not to carry on the pain.
Yeah.
Don't carry on the pain. That's just keeping your hand on the hot stove.
That's the biggest waste of time to keep torturing yourself and keep living. I think again. I heard it yesterday. You can't drive a car by looking in the rearview mirror.
Yeah.
That's not looking now. There's no point looking backwards all day, every day.
Yep.
Learn the lesson, process the experience, and then move forward.
Yep.
And forward is the present, and forward is where everything is at.
Right.
You know, what's been has been.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, life is great. Maybe I wish I could run around like a kid again, but I don't really. I sacrifice my age for what it is. Yeah, I'll take that. You know, some people they say they wish they were 16 again, they wish they were 20 again. I don't. I'm quite happy as I am.
Oh, people say they wish they were a teenager again. No, I do not. I do not envy any teenager. All those hormones, all those things going around in your head. That's not an easy time.
No. You know, I mean, it's time to learn a lot. You know,
Yeah.
I guess maybe in the sense that if I knew what I know now, then you know,
Sure.
there's so many things that I would say to do to get to make a happier life. I think you asked earlier, how do we get to that joyful path?
Yeah.
You know, so like the one thing I guess the one thing I would say, which I don't say very often, is find a way to invest money early. You make so much more money when you invest money. A lot of people think you work to get rich. You don't work to get rich. It's a lie. It's a genuine lie. You know,
Right.
it's a genuine lie. You know, because every penny you earn whilst working is taxed, right?
Right.
So you're forever chasing your own tail. The more you earn, the more tax you pay. You're never going to get enough to be rich. Now you're going to get rich when you put money away that grows whilst you're asleep, which no one can touch. You know, that's one of the things that we did for ourselves from years ago. I'm still doing now. So like, if you can invest money, you know, it takes away a lot of the panic about what if I get poor? What if something goes wrong? Are you with me?
Yeah.
You know, and you haven't got to invest a lot. You just have to find the right place to invest it.
Right.
You know, it's not to make leaving money in the bank is silly, obviously, because there's no interest. Whereas if you learn to invest your money somewhere, I'm not saying buy bitcoins. I'm not into buying crypto at all. You know, find a way to invest money that actually grows. You get a peace of mind that is priceless, literally. You know, priceless.
It helps.
You know,
It does help. Yeah, I agree. Well, Penny, it has been a pleasure talking about all of the ways that helping other people helps us to feel joyful and all the ways that we cultivate joy in our own lives.
No, it's been truly my pleasure. I hope I've made sense to our listeners. At least I'll say that much. You know, I have bothered to wear a new suit for your pleasure. You know, which let's say came today, literally got delivered this evening. You know, and I say, be nice to connect with people. You know, I love connecting with people. I just love. I'll talk to anyone. I just love getting to know what people do and what exploring the possibilities. I guess. You know. So if anyone wants to reach out to me, by all means do. You know, LinkedIn is where I am most of the time. You know.
Okay, I will put that link up in the top of the screen in the next screen, and lead everybody to your homepage, I guess, or
yeah, my LinkedIn profile. Yeah,
your profile. Perfect.
No, that's nice. I say thank you so much for the chance. You know, and I love to talk, and I love to talk about me. Of course, I do.
What do you know more about?
Thank you so much for the opportunity. I really appreciate it.
Have a wonderful evening.
You too. You too, for sure.
There you have it. Penny Osung from Cornwall in the UK, talking to us about lots of the philosophy of Penny Osung and all of the things that he does to be consistently giving a voice to those who need to have more of a voice and bring them to the joyful path. And speaking of that, if you are looking for someone to help you do your marketing and you're interested in any services, here they are up on the screen. And I'm happy to share those with you. Penny is a hoot to work with, and you will enjoy him. All right. So if you are looking for a interview with someone that I haven't had and you think that you would like to have them here on the show, please put comments in the let me know in the comments, or shoot me a note wherever you can find that. There's links to that stuff all around all my social media here. So find me and send me a note. And as always, hit like, hit subscribe, and I will be happy to see you next week. Take care and do what you can to be heard, to listen, and to get yourself on the joyful path. See you next week.